Peppa Family Rainy Day. Peppa is dashing around, giggling with her dinosaur in hand. Despite the rain outside, Peppa and George are happily playing indoors. George is happily playing with his toy airplane. With a little imagination, the living room turns into Princess Peppa's castle, guarded by Sir George the dinosaur. Something's missing! George, come here! Peppa calls out. Oh dear, poor George! That chair is almost bigger than him. All hail King Dinosaur, ruler of the castle! Today is sports day at Peppa's school. All the kids are so excited. The whistle blows. It's time to start. The kids line up neatly under the teacher's guidance. Their faces show excitement and anticipation. What will be the first event? They were both excitedly talking to each other about who ran faster and reached the finish line first. The race begins. The kids run with all their might, their feet flying across the ground. Who will reach the finish line first? One by one, all the others fall behind, leaving only Peppa and Rebecca Rabbit chasing each other at full speed. The cheers from the crowd get louder, and the tension rises. Molly Cat won! Wow, she's so fast! Today is a fun-filled swimming day for Peppa's family. Everyone is excited as they head to the pool for a day of splashing, swimming, and making unforgettable memories together. Everyone steps out from the changing rooms, Peppa and George in their colorful swimsuits. Mummy Pig and Daddy Pig are also ready to relax and enjoy a day by the pool. Everyone is putting on their swimsuits, ready for a fun day at the pool. Daddy begins to blow up the float for his little one. Daddy is blowing up the float for his daughter. Now we can go into the water. Hey! Hey! Oh, so it turns out little brother is afraid of the water. It's a beautiful morning at Peppa's house. George Pig really loves to play outside. Mummy, Daddy, and Peppa have already gone out too. Hop in the car. Time to hit the road. George Pig loves going shopping with his family. Peppa and George love going shopping. Hey! Hey! First, we need to find the bananas. On a sunny day, my sister and I decided to go for a walk. Yahoo! The two sisters put on their hats carefully before going for a walk, so the sun wouldn't shine on their heads. Suddenly, a big gust of wind blew Sister's hat away. The big sister burst into tears and cried loudly. The little brother went to get help. The giraffe agreed to help the two siblings. Surprisingly, the giraffe was a magician, so he helped the big sister get her hat back very easily. The two siblings were very happy to get their hat back. One clear morning, you and I were still fast asleep. Suddenly, a friend showed up and knocked on the door. Our close friend smiled and said, "Let's go for a walk, you two." Suddenly, a mysterious object began to leak. It turned the white rabbit pink. Hey! Luckily, the strange object managed to retrieve the leaking item just in time. A hot, sunny afternoon. My sister and I were talking and decided to go to the pool to beat the heat. And off they went, all excited, heading to the swimming pool. They arrived and saw their friend happily splashing in the water.
Hey! Let's go!
The little sister jumped into the pool, splashing around happily, while the big sister relaxed and sunbathed on a colorful chair. Huh? Aha!
Wow! Wow! Aha!
Huh? The bouncy mattress outdoors. Today is a beautiful day. Peppa and George brought an old mattress outside to dry in the sun. But it looks so soft. Maybe just one little nap won't hurt. Whoa! What was that? It seems this mattress can bounce. Soon the whole pig family is bouncing together. Who will bounce the highest and become the bouncy mattress champion? Looks like the mattress got tired too, but the laughter keeps echoing through the garden. After a whole day of bouncing, both Peppa and the magic mattress need a rest. What a peaceful afternoon, full of fun and giggles. Peppa and the leaf on her head. Peppa walks slowly in the garden. A leaf falls down from above. The leaf gently lands on Peppa's head. Peppa doesn't notice and keeps walking. Peppa stops and looks around. The leaf on the head gently wiggles in the breeze. George runs over and looks at Peppa's head. George points and giggles. Peppa reaches up to her head, but can't quite reach it. The leaf falls into Peppa's hand. A gentle breeze blows. The leaf blows away from Peppa's hand. Peppa and George watch it fly away and smile. The leaf swirls gently and falls to the ground. Peppa picks up the leaf and places it on George's head. George stays still for a moment, then smiles. Peppa laughs happily.
Peppa Pig and the Backward Clock. One quiet afternoon, Peppa and George noticed something strange about the clock in their living room. Instead of moving forward, the clock hands begin to turn backward. As the clock runs backward, everything seems to slow down. Even the smallest movements become gentle and slow. With a light touch, time pauses for a moment. When everything returns to normal, Peppa realizes that sometimes slowing down can be fun too.
Aha!
2 hours later.
Peppa was surprised to see a strange hat on the grass.
Whoa!
George ran over and touched it, lights twinkling from the hat.
Whoa!
Peppa put the hat on. Bubbles of light floated across the garden. Magical indeed. George tried the hat too, bubbles swirling around them, making them laugh out loud. The bubbles rose and settled on the tree branches, sparkling in the sunlight. They took off the hat, bubbles faded, but the magical joy lingered in the garden.
Peppa Pig and the Soap Bubbles. One day, Peppa finds a small bottle of soapy water on the table. She dips the bubble wand into it. Peppa gently blows, and bubbles float into the air. George happily runs after the bubbles. Each time he touches one, it pops. The little bubbles turn the moment into a joyful and playful game.
One morning, George wakes up and looks around his room. Toys are scattered all over the floor. Books lie in a messy pile on the desk. And the blanket and pillows are all over the bed. George puts, he hands on, he hips, sighs, but decides he will turn her messy room into a tidy, cozy place. George starts picking up each toy, sorting them by shape and color, then placing them into different boxes. One for cars, one for stuffed animals, and one for building blocks. Each time George closes a lid, George stacks the boxes neatly against the wall. George folds his blanket carefully, smoothing out each corner. While folding, a big teddy bear hidden inside the blanket falls to the floor. George giggles, hugs the bear for a moment, then places it neatly at the head of the bed, right next to her favorite pillow. After dusting the desk and arranging the books in order, George steps back to look at the whole room. Everything is clean and tidy, the floor is clear and shiny. George lies down on the bed, opens a picture book, and enjoys the cozy feeling of George's freshly cleaned room. Peppa and George are playing with a balloon in the park. A strong gust of wind blows the balloon up into the sky. Peppa looks up at the balloon, startled. George points at the sky, following the balloon with his eyes. Peppa and Daddy Pig start running after the balloon, trying to keep up as it flies higher. Peppa and Daddy Pig run across the grassy field, their legs moving quickly. George runs behind, watching the balloon and smiling. Peppa and Daddy Pig spot the balloon caught in a tree branch. Peppa points at the tree, excited to see the balloon. Daddy Pig uses a long stick to try and reach the balloon from the tree. Peppa hops around happily. Peppa and Daddy Pig are happy to have rescued the balloon. Peppa holds the balloon in her hands, smiling. George jumps up joyfully. The pig family sits down together and continues to play in the park. The pig family arrives at a farm to try being farmers for the day. We're going to be farmers and take care of the plants, Peppa says. Everyone gets ready to start working on the farm. Peppa and George start watering the plants. I'm going to water the plants so they can grow big and strong, Peppa says. George helps his sister by watering around the garden. Peppa and George begin to pick ripe tomatoes from the garden. Look, our tomatoes are ready, Peppa says. The pig family continues to pick vegetables and put them in their baskets. After a hard day's work on the farm, the pig family sits down to enjoy the vegetables they just picked. We can eat what we've grown with our own hands, Daddy Pig says. Everyone enjoys a meal and feels proud of their hard work. After a hard day's work, the pig family sits down to rest. Being a farmer is fun, but I like playing more, Peppa says. Daddy Pig laughs and says, helping on the farm is good, but playing is fun too. The whole family laughs and feels proud of their work. Ha!
Peppa Pig and the colorful umbrella. One day, Peppa notices a colorful umbrella in the corner of the room. She picks it up and opens it wide. George stands under the umbrella and looks up at the bright colors. Peppa gently spins the umbrella. George tries spinning the umbrella too and giggles with joy. The colorful umbrella turns into a fun little game for Peppa and George.
It's a beautiful day, and Peppa and George go to the park with Daddy Pig, bringing along their colorful new kite. Daddy Pig excitedly runs as fast as he can to make the kite fly high. But Daddy Pig suddenly trips over a rock. The kite still soars up high, but then gets stuck on the statue's ear in the park. Peppa and George look up, both surprised and giggling. A strong gust of wind blows through, pulling the kite down and covering Daddy Pig's head. He stumbles around blindly, while Peppa and George burst into fits of giggles. What was supposed to be a simple trip to the park turns into an unexpected comedy show. The wind blows stronger, making the kite slip right out of Daddy Pig's hand and swirl around in the sky. Peppa and George run after it, giggling and reaching up to catch it. Daddy Pig hurries along too, but quickly becomes out of breath.
Yahoo!
One lovely morning, Mummy Pig was tidying up the house. Daddy Pig came over with an idea. How about we go on a relaxing family trip?
Aha!
Peppa and George cheered with excitement.
2 hours later.
The whole family quickly got ready, hopped into the car, and set off. On the way, everyone was laughing and chatting happily. When they arrived, Peppa and George eagerly went rowing, while Mummy and Daddy Pig enjoyed a romantic date together.
Peppa and the Flying Hat. Peppa walks into the yard and sees a hat on the grass. Peppa walks closer and picks up the hat. Peppa puts the hat on and smiles happily. George is playing with a ball nearby when he sees Peppa and the hat. A gentle breeze blows by. The hat on Peppa's head is blown into the air. Peppa watches the flying hat in surprise. The hat floats and lands farther away. Peppa runs after the hat. George runs after her. The hat rolls on the grass and stops. Peppa picks up the hat. They look at each other and laugh happily. Peppa Pig and the Playful Wind. It looks like a perfectly normal afternoon until the wind arrives. The wind blows through the garden as if it wants to join the fun. Leaves begin to swirl around, flying everywhere. Peppa tries to catch a leaf, but the wind is always one step ahead. After a while, the wind seems to get tired and calms down. Peppa and George learn that sometimes invisible things can bring the biggest fun. Peppa Pig and the Balloon. One day, Peppa notices a red balloon floating in the room. She gently taps the balloon, and it slowly drifts upward. Peppa and George jump up together, trying to touch the balloon. Suddenly, the balloon drifts to another corner of the room. Peppa and George quickly think of a new game. The balloon floats back and forth, turning the whole room into a fun little playground. Peppa Pig and the Trash Can Race. Peppa and George discover old trash can vehicles in the yard and come up with a fun idea. Peppa jumps onto a trash can vehicle while George watches curiously.
Let's go!
The race begins. Peppa's trash can zooms ahead. George follows closely, both cheering happily. George accidentally crashes into a pile of toys, making Peppa giggle as she races past. Yahoo! The race ends with laughter as the whole family enjoys the moment together.
Hey! Hey!
Huh? Aha! Yahoo! Wow!
Peppa and the Flying Teddy Bear. Peppa hugs Teddy in her bedroom. George runs in with a bunch of balloons. Peppa looks at the balloons, then looks at Teddy, then gets an idea. Peppa lifts Teddy up and smiles happily. Peppa ties the balloons to Teddy. Peppa lets go to Teddy, starts to fly. Peppa and George are surprised and run after Teddy. Teddy floats up and gets stuck on a tree branch. Daddy Pig comes in, stands on a chair, and brings Teddy down.
2 hours later.
Peppa and George jump with joy. The whole family laughs happily. Picnic day. Today, Peppa and George are very excited because the family is going on a picnic. Mommy Pig and Daddy Pig are ready too. The whole family gets in the car. Peppa loves going out, and so does George. Daddy Pig spreads the blanket, and Mommy Pig puts down the picnic basket. Peppa chases a pretty butterfly, and George runs after his sister. Peppa tries to catch the butterfly. Teddy Bear Rescue. George tossed Teddy up to play, but oh no! Teddy didn't come back down. Instead, he got stuck high up on a tree branch. Peppa jumped as high as she could. George stretched his arms as far as he could, but Teddy stayed firmly on the branch. Just as the two were about to give up, a sudden gust of wind blew in. Teddy fell from the branch and landed neatly in George's arms. George hugged Teddy as if reuniting with a long-lost friend, while Peppa giggled under the tree. And so, the Teddy rescue mission ended, not thanks to any plan, but thanks to the wind itself. Peppa and Cleaning Day. One beautiful morning, Peppa and George were happily playing in their bedroom. Suddenly, Mummy Pig came in and said, "Children, let's clean the house today." Both Peppa and George cheerfully replied, "Yes, Mummy." Peppa quickly put away her stuffed toys neatly, while George ran to the living room with a broom to start sweeping. While Peppa went to rinse the mop, George had already finished sweeping the floor. When Peppa came back to mop the floor, the two siblings worked together to clean the whole house.
Oh.
Whoa! Whoa! Peppa Pig and the melting cake. Peppa is very excited about the cake, especially on a sunny day like this. But the sun has its own plans for the cake. The cake seems to be changing shape right before their eyes. Peppa tries to save the cake, but the sunshine doesn't cooperate. Even though it's no longer perfect, the cake still looks delicious. Huh? Peppa and George learn that sometimes fun doesn't need to be perfect to be sweet. Aha! Oh!
Peppa and the Little Bell. Peppa walks into the room. Peppa sees a small bell lying on the table. Peppa moves closer. Peppa looks carefully at the bell. Peppa touches the bell, and it rings softly. Peppa opens her eyes wide and smiles. Peppa picks up the bell. Peppa rings the bell, and it goes ding ding. Peppa looks at the bell and smiles happily. George hears the sound and runs in. George looks at the bell curiously. Peppa gives the bell to George. George holds the bell and gently rings it. The bell makes a cheerful sound. Peppa and George look at each other and smile happily. Peppa Pig and the opening box. Peppa and George are playing in the living room. In the corner of the room, there's a small cardboard box with its lid slightly open. Daddy Pig is sitting on a chair, and Mummy Pig is sitting beside him. Peppa bends down to look inside the box. George is also curious and leans closer to the box. The box shakes slightly, making both of them jump in surprise. Peppa opens the box completely. Daddy Pig sees it from a distance, so he walks over and leans in to look inside. Inside are a few toys. Peppa holds the toy, and George jumps up excitedly. Daddy Pig and Mummy Pig smile. The empty box lies still on the floor. Peppa Pig and the Mountain of Bubbles. Today, Mummy Pig is washing the car, and Peppa and George discover lots of bubbles. Wow, look at that! A giant mountain of bubbles! Oh dear, Daddy Pig looks so funny as a bubble snowman. Playing with bubbles is fun, but playing together is the best fun of all.
The egg and spoon race. Today, Peppa and George are joining a very special race. The egg and spoon race. The little ones must keep their eggs perfectly balanced.
The race has started. Peppa is in the lead. She is walking very fast and skillfully. Go on, Peppa and George.
Oh, a beautiful butterfly just flew by. Oh no, Peppa got a surprise and the egg has fallen onto the grass. What a pity. Congratulations, George. He made it to the finish line safely. Anyway, it was such a fun race, wasn't it?
One morning, Peppa wakes up and looks around her room. Toys are scattered all over the floor. Books lie in a messy pile on the desk. And the blanket and pillows are all over the bed. Peppa puts her hands on her hips, sighs, but decides she will turn her messy room into a tidy, cozy place. Peppa starts picking up each toy, sorting them by shape and color, then placing them into different boxes. One for cars, one for stuffed animals, and one for building blocks. Each time she closes a lid, she stacks the boxes neatly against the wall. Peppa folds her blanket carefully, smoothing out each corner. While folding, a big teddy bear hidden inside the blanket falls to the floor. Peppa giggles, hugs the bear for a moment, then places it neatly at the head of the bed, right next to her favorite pillow. After dusting the desk and arranging the books neatly, Peppa steps back to look at the whole room. Everything is clean and tidy. The floor is clear and shiny. Peppa lies down on the bed, hugs her teddy bear, and enjoys the cozy feeling of her freshly cleaned room.
Peppa and the missing glasses. Oh dear, Daddy Pig has lost his glasses again. He can't see anything clearly without them. Peppa and George help Daddy Pig look for them. They check everywhere, from under the rug to behind the pictures on the wall. Look! Peppa has spotted something. Daddy Pig, your glasses are actually right on top of your head.
Aha!
Daddy Pig is so forgetful. Everyone is having a big laugh over this silly mistake. Peppa and the surprise gift.
Daddy Pig brings home a very big present. Peppa and George are so excited to see what's inside this mysterious box.
One, 2, 3. Open it! It's a lovely little play tent. Now, let's set it up for a camping adventure. How wonderful! Peppa and George now have a little house of their own. The indoor camping trip has begun. A very special gift from Daddy Pig. Have a wonderful camping night, Peppa and George. Peppa Pig and the Lost Balloon. Today, Peppa and George are playing with a very special balloon. A playful breeze lifts the balloon out of Peppa's hand. The balloon slowly floats over familiar places in the garden. It seems to explore the world all by itself. Peppa and George learn that letting things go can be fun too. Even though the balloon is gone, the happiness stays.
Library. Today, Peppa and George are going to the bookstore. Come on, family, let's get in the car. Peppa and George really love going to the bookstore. There are so many books to choose from. Peppa picks a princess book. And George chooses a dinosaur book. The Dream of Two Siblings. It's a peaceful night. Peppa and George slowly drift into sleep, not knowing that a magical dream is waiting for them. In their dream, Peppa and George can fly. The bubbles lift them up high, gliding through clouds that look like cotton candy. Everything is colorful and full of joy. Here, Peppa and George aren't just siblings. They're brave explorers of the sky. But in this dream, even a tumble turns into laughter and fun! The dream may have faded, but the love between Peppa and George shines bright, just like a rainbow in their hearts.
Peppa Pig and the Lost Cloud.
Whoa!
It's a peaceful afternoon when Peppa and George notice a cloud floating unusually close to their backyard. Wherever they go, the cloud follows, as if it's afraid of getting lost. Peppa tries to touch the cloud. George tries too. But it always stays just out of reach. Soon, the cloud begins to fade away, leaving a few raindrops behind as a goodbye. Peppa and George learn that sometimes short visits can leave the longest-lasting joy.
Dance to music! It's a dancing day! Peppa turns on some happy music. It's time to start dancing! Peppa starts dancing! She twirls, she hops high, and she wiggles to the beat. Peppa is a talented dancer!
Yeah!
George wants to spin just like Peppa. He spins, spins, spins. George is spinning so fast, he won't stop spinning. Stop spinning, George! George tries to stop, but he loses his balance. Oh dear, George tumbles onto the floor. Peppa giggles and helps George up. George learned not to spin too fast. Now for some slower, gentle dancing.
Peppa and the Secret Tin Can Phone. Woo-hoo-hoo! Peppa and George are making a special telephone using tin cans and a long piece of string. Peppa whispers secret things into the tin can. George can hear her clearly from all the way in the garden. How magical! Daddy Pig wants to listen too, but he steps back too far and pulls the string tight. Oh dear, Daddy Pig is pulling Peppa right out of the house. It seems this telephone needs a much longer string for Daddy Pig. Everyone is having a big laugh together.
It was a bright, breezy morning in Peppa's backyard. As Peppa wandered around, she spotted a colorful umbrella lying forgotten in the corner of the garden. Peppa curiously picked it up, wondering what fun she could have with it. Suddenly, a big gust of wind blew. The umbrella opened wide, lifting Peppa off the ground. She squealed in surprise. Up in the sky, Peppa floated and twirled like a pink bird with a rainbow wing. The wind carried her over the yard, spinning in circles, dipping and soaring. Down below, Mummy Pig, Daddy Pig, and George gasped, then burst into laughter as they watched Peppa's unexpected flight show. The wind slowed down, and Peppa landed gently on the soft grass. Her family rushed over as Peppa waved with a big smile. The pig family arrives at a farm to try being farmers for the day. We're going to be farmers and take care of the plants, Peppa says. Everyone gets ready to start working on the farm. Peppa and George start watering the plants. I'm going to water the plants so they can grow big and strong, Peppa says. George helps his sister by watering around the garden. Peppa and George begin to pick ripe tomatoes from the garden. Look, our tomatoes are ready, Peppa says. The pig family continues to pick vegetables and put them in their baskets. After a hard day's work on the farm, the pig family sits down to enjoy the vegetables they just picked. We can eat what we've grown with our own hands, Daddy Pig says. Everyone enjoys a meal and feels proud of their hard work. After a hard day's work, the pig family sits down to rest. Being a farmer is fun, but I like playing more, Peppa says. Daddy Pig laughs and says, helping on the farm is good, but playing is fun too. The whole family laughs and feels proud of their work. It's a beautiful day, and Peppa and George go to the park with Daddy Pig, bringing along their colorful new kite. Daddy Pig excitedly runs as fast as he can to make the kite fly high. But Daddy Pig suddenly trips over a rock. The kite still soars up high, but then gets stuck on the statue's ear in the park. Peppa and George look up, both surprised and giggling. A strong gust of wind blows through, pulling the kite down and covering Daddy Pig's head. He stumbles around blindly, while Peppa and George burst into fits of giggles. What was supposed to be a simple trip to the park turns into an unexpected comedy show. The wind blows stronger, making the kite slip right out of Daddy Pig's hand and swirl around in the sky. Peppa and George run after it, giggling and reaching up to catch it. Daddy Pig hurries along too, but quickly becomes out of breath. Today, Peppa and George have found an old car tire in the garden. It's round and shiny black, looking rather mysterious. Peppa has an idea. Let's roll it. So, the two begin pushing the tire around the garden, giggling as it wobbles along. But, oh dear, the tire suddenly rolls away, right down the little slope outside. Peppa and George gasp and chase after it. Their tiny feet scramble as fast as they can, dust flying everywhere, while the tire rolls faster and faster and faster. The tire bounces straight into the vegetable patch. Thump! A carrot shoots into the air. Whoosh! Lettuces tumble all over the ground. Daddy Pig, who was watering the plants, looks up in surprise. He rubs his eyes in disbelief. A naughty tire is wrecking the whole garden. Daddy Pig hurries over, ready to scold them. But when he sees Peppa and George laughing loudly in the puddle, he can't help but laugh too. Mud sprays everywhere. Their clothes are filthy. But everyone is happy. For Peppa and George, even an old car tire can turn into the best game ever. Peppa and George are playing with a balloon in the park. A strong gust of wind blows the balloon up into the sky. Peppa looks up at the balloon, startled. George points at the sky, following the balloon with his eyes. Peppa and Daddy Pig start running after the balloon, trying to keep up as it flies higher. Peppa and Daddy Pig run across the grassy field, their legs moving quickly. George runs behind, watching the balloon and smiling. Peppa and Daddy Pig spot the balloon caught in a tree branch. Peppa points at the tree, excited to see the balloon. Daddy Pig uses a long stick to try and reach the balloon from the tree. Peppa hops around happily. Peppa and Daddy Pig are happy to have rescued the balloon. Peppa holds the balloon in her hands, smiling. George jumps up joyfully. The pig family sits down together and continues to play in the park. One morning, George wakes up and looks around his room. Toys are scattered all over the floor. Books lie in a messy pile on the desk. And the blanket and pillows are all over the bed. George puts, he hands on, he hips, sighs, but decides he will turn a messy room into a tidy, cozy place. George starts picking up each toy, sorting them by shape and color, then placing them into different boxes. One for cars, one for stuffed animals, and one for building blocks. Each time George closes a lid, George stacks the boxes neatly against the wall. George folds his blanket carefully, smoothing out each corner. While folding, a big teddy bear hidden inside the blanket falls to the floor. George giggles, hugs the bear for a moment, then places it neatly at the head of the bed, right next to her favorite pillow. After dusting the desk and arranging the books in order, George steps back to look at the whole room. Everything is clean and tidy, the floor is clear and shiny. George lies down on the bed, opens a picture book, and enjoys the cozy feeling of George's freshly cleaned room.